It appears that a new AEW signing has been revealed, and we're going to talk about that in today's video. Is Tony Khan spending too much money on acquiring new employees, new wrestlers, new talent? I don't know. That's a good question. We're going to talk about it. Also, a very controversial spot took place on WWE Raw, and it appears that there's a lot of backlash. Is the world becoming a little too soft? Are people overreacting? We're going to talk about that. And then we are going to talk about Ricky Saints, who has spoken out about AEW and what happened down there, the downfall of his career in that company. It's very interesting. We're going to talk about it all right here on the Ango Show. Okay, everybody, my name is Ango. You already know that. Let's get right into it. Ricky Starks, a.k.a. Ricky Saints. Love this guy. Think he's awesome. There's a lot of great things that he's doing in NXT. Now he's the North American champion, right? He recently came out and discussed why there was a quick turnaround as to when he left AEW to WWE. He actually broke down a lot of things in this new interview. And basically, for those who don't know, I'm just going to recap it for you. But of course, you could check it out on The Ringer, where he did this piece. So how did it happen so fast? He said it was a very quick turnaround. People think that it was days in advance. I had actually never spoken to WWE at all before any of this. I never got on the phone with anyone before that, blah, blah, blah. So all of that, when I say it happened so fast, it happened so fast and it never let up off the gas. He said that he received a lot of messages of congratulations. Cody, Jade, Allie Catch, many people had reached out to him congratulating him. He's obviously very excited about being in WWE. But what was actually really interesting is that he talked a little bit about his situation with AEW, where he just really wanted the ball to fully run with and to be fully invested in. And he actually went down and broke down a little bit more of the situation of like when he was injured, not being able to wrestle, not being able to appear on TV. Those are things that like really impacted him. And so he just felt like AEW never really gave him the opportunity to be fully invested in or to be utilized. And to be fair, I mean, that is something that I have said for a very, very long time. You know, they had him win the Owen and they just never found a way to really capitalize on the fact that he's over. And it seems like I'm considered a hater for pointing this out, but there are many other wrestlers in AEW who have gotten over organically. They do something cool, and then to really be given the chance to shine, they're held back instead. And AEW fails to capitalize on the momentum. So for Ricky, he wants to be a WWE champion. He wants to climb the ranks. He wants to be utilized. He wants to do all these great things. And I hope it works out for him. But at least he has to be given the chance. If you're given the chance and you fail, that's one thing. But I do believe AEW kind of screwed him with that.
Now would be the best time to remind you that we have a major goal to hit 100,000 subscribers. Over 40% of the viewers who watch this channel are not subscribed. Please click subscribe if you enjoy staying educated on everything with wrestling news.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to turn our attention to some WWE controversy. Tony Hinchcliffe was on WWE Raw commentary last night, and they were utilizing him to promote the Roast of WrestleMania, which is a non-televised event happening at WrestleMania weekend after night 2. Tony Hinchcliffe, other comedians, other wrestlers, they're all basically getting involved in doing a roast. Now, this is a very interesting story because Tony Hinchcliffe is a comedian, and he was on WWE Raw commentary, and they were obviously promoting this. And for Tony Hinchcliffe, the thing that a lot of people were really upset about was that he had a very specific line about Big E. Now, I just want to preface everything that I'm saying here. If you listen to the commentary by Tony Hinchcliffe during the New Day versus War Raiders match, it was very clear that he was portraying more of a heel. The minute that he was introduced, I mean, he was literally roasting Michael Cole. Later on in the match, you can tell that he is also a fan of the New Day. And even when the New Day, technically they win the match because the War Raiders got DQ'd, he made it very clear that the War Raiders, which are the babyface team, were trying to cheat, and they got caught cheating. So it is very clear that Tony Hinchcliffe was portraying a heel commentator, but he did have a remark that he made where he was basically roasting Michael Cole and called him as stiff as Big E's neck. Now, at the end of the day, this is a wrestling TV show. It is scripted. Tony Hinchcliffe is a comedian. And I really do have a hard time understanding why there is a lot of negativity and why this is becoming so controversial. He is portraying a heel character. He is a comedian. It's a joke. Is it a great joke? No, I really don't think it's that great of a joke. No, I really don't think it was like that great of a line, to be honest with you. But I feel like there is so much worse that people could be mad about in professional wrestling or just in general in real life. I'm not really too focused on the fact that Tony Hinchcliffe made this joke. It's not a bad situation, in my opinion. It's not like he's being a dickhead. I mean, he's being a heel commentator who also is roasting and doing comedy. Now, comedy is subjective, of course, but I'm just one of those people, and maybe people are disappointed in this. I don't know, but I am one of those people. I feel like nothing's off the limits with comedy. You know what I mean? I think if you're gonna go and do some crazy jokes, it just better be funny, you know. But at the end of the day, I think comedians are comedians for a reason. People really won't be able to convince me otherwise. It's just one of those things where I think people do have this fake outrage, but a lot of people have taken to Twitter. They're telling WWE not to work with Tony Hinchcliffe. Maybe his jokes aren't for you. Maybe you don't think he's funny. That's completely fine. That's subjective. But at the same time, too, this is a scripted wrestling television show. We hear a lot worse in movies and TV shows elsewhere. I was literally just watching Modern Family the other day, and I couldn't believe some of the crazy stuff that they have joked about on that show. But the thing is, it's a television show, and you could differentiate comedy and TV versus real life. And I do think that is a point that I have to make pretty clear. So I don't know where you guys stand with it, but I'm pretty much in the realm of I really don't think it's that big of a deal. Let's talk about it. New signing for AEW, ladies and gentlemen. Josh Matthews appears to have signed with AEW. In fact, it appears that he was working alongside Tony Khan and the team backstage at AEW Dynasty. Now, at this time, there's really no new information regarding, what's his specific role. Nobody is really coming out talking about how long he has signed with the company, but it appears that he has signed with the company. Now, we know that he's no longer in TNA. We know that he's been visiting backstage with AEW. We know that his wife, Madison Rayne, works in the company as well. Josh Matthews had experience in WWE. He had experience in TNA. Now he has experience in AEW. I think he's a great asset, to be honest with you. He has experience. He knows the wrestling business. He's worked backstage. He was a very big part of TNA backstage. If he's there in AEW full-time helping out the company, I would love to see, the company get better. Now, what is he doing? Is he producing? Is he, doing more of like the media stuff? I don't know. But Tony Khan has brought him in. As I said in the beginning, is Tony Khan spending too much money on talent and personnel? He is. But at the same time, too, if it all leads to AEW getting better, then I'm not going to complain about it. So I'll just kind of leave it at that. But Josh Matthews is in AEW. I would love to see this happen where maybe he gets to become the voice of Collision with Ian Riccaboni. I think they would be a fantastic duo. I think commentary needs a major change in AEW. So I know as of right now he's doing backstage stuff, but I'm going to throw it out there. Let's manifest it. Let's get a change to the commentary team. So that is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.